Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to this Week 4 matchup for Recharged Gaming League, RGL.GG. And it is going to be Froyotech being the home team going up against Faint Gaming Red. And I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a little bit of an interesting matchup, given that Froyotech is currently sitting comfortably inside of second place, right up there with VoxDei Esports. Both teams have pretty much secured their spot into the playoffs. Really, it's just jostling for position. And we'll see who will come out on top in this fast-paced, Gib-oriented, crazy map that is Koth Ashville. I have Nisel behind the scenes doing camera work as always, and VoxDei to my side. How you doing out here, VoxDei?
I'm doing really well. It's been a little while since I got to watch some competitive TF2 action. Been so busy. Last night I got to, or I should say Monday, got to watch some Highlander action. Today I get to watch some Sevens action. Like, I'm just really excited to be back into the scene, you know?
Back into the scene. Well, it's a good time to get back here as we are coming into kind of the closing stretches. This is week 4 of 5, so only one more week after this looks like they started pick bans if we can get this pulled up here. And are they already done? No, there we go. They're almost done here. So they got started up here just a second ago. And already, as I'm seeing this right now, you can see that, I mean, we just start to kind of look over the bans one by one. So you can see Faint Gaming came out, taking away the Kritzkrieg, which I think is kind of an interesting ban. I guess just worried about Froyotech running it, which they haven't really done so much. Followed by Froyotech predictably going after the Engineer. It's a very common thing that they do. They almost always go for early bans against the Engineer. One interesting thing is the Detonator being banned. How do you feel about that one, Vox?
Yeah, you know, I guess they're with changes to the Pyro and everything, they don't really want to give any extra weaponry to whoever on Froyotech would end up switching over to the class. I can't imagine someone running it full time. It might come out here just if someone is feeling supremely confident with the changes and know that they can really do some damage. But the Detonator in and of itself, I don't feel worth, going at it directly with a ban, but maybe they know something I don't.
I guess the one thing that taking away the Detonator would do is it kind of reduces Pyro's mobility, because it at least stops them from being able to jump up on the enemy's roof. And the only way to do that without the Detonator would be to use the Pyro jetpack, which would be a very surprising thing to use. We haven't seen anybody use that so far. And currently, I mean, there's also none of the new weapons being banned, so Pyro maybe we'll see Dragon's Fury coming out or something like that. But we can see the next bands coming out. Bonk going down, followed by Girardi. And Bonk, I mean, obviously is a very solid pick whenever you're going up against Ben. You take away his, as Benny does usually play Scout, take away his ability to get behind the enemy team easily. And then Girardi going down, I mean, again, it's just kind of like one of these things. Girardi can help turn a team's fight in their favor. And so just taking that away, making sure that, if Froyotech is going to lose a fight, they want it to be through DM, not through any unlocks.
Yeah, and I like the save of the gunslinger here. Spamfest, I have to imagine will be jumping on Engineer and putting out some hefty damage. I mean, that's obviously part of the reason why Froyo is going to come out, as you mentioned, with those bans on Engineer. It also has to do with just how good of an Engineer Spamfest is. So it's smart to make sure the gunslinger makes it through. You don't want to completely have the class, I wouldn't say useless when Spamfest, because you could do amazing things with a level 3, but just smart out of Faint Gaming Red to make sure that it comes through.
And kind of as we come into the backside of the bans, you can see that Froyotech came out strong, taking down the Natasha. Again, just kind of taking weapons that can slow down the Scout there, followed by the Diamondback and Spicicle for Faint Gaming with Battalion's Backup, which is one of these things that we see teams ban. I've seen the Battalion's Backup being banned several times throughout the first and second season. Usually it's like the last ban that you do. It's the last one you toss out there. But really, when it comes down to it, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody run the Battalion's Backup when it has been available. And I don't know if it's just people are used to the conch and they want to use that if they are going to use a weapon to give themselves a speed boost. I mean, it is a good weapon, no doubt. It can turn a fight to some degree, but it's kind of surprising to see that ban when I haven't really seen it used too much. But Faint Gaming, another thing is they actually went after the Spy, but Froyotech doesn't run a lot of Spy. I don't know if that was necessarily a good pick, and especially when Froyotech has Boar on the team, you might want to give your team some Spy tools to help yourself out, because you're going to need to take down Boar if you're going to have a chance at winning this game.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. I mean, they do getting rid of the bicycle. Yeah, I mean, but they still have some tools. You know, the big earner changes to spy. You know, the eternal reward is now more viable in a competitive setting. So they do still have some options there, but it is interesting to go after that. The Diamondback as well, I can see making sense because of changes to the ambassadors. So Diamondback has kind of pushed its way forward as a weapon to use now, more so than it had been in the past. So, but you're right. I don't know who on Froyotech would actually come out on Spy, but if they do, it's probably going to be sticking with the stock revolver. And I mean, they still have options, like I said, between the big earner and the Your Eternal Reward.
We have seen Froyotech when they do run Spy. Usually it's Eric, the master, the myth, the legend, probably the best flex player currently in the game. So good at engineer. He's done work on Pyro, and it's going to be even stronger now. And he will mix it up occasionally to Spy, not too often, just usually to help out his team, maybe get a push off, or just honestly just to throw him off, because you throw a Spy in there every once in a while just to keep the enemy team on their toes, especially when they don't expect it. But overall, I mean, looking at these picks, I definitely would think that Froyotech, I think they had a little bit of a banning process, a little bit better of a banning process. And I think it kind of gives them a little bit of an edge compared to Feint Gaming, but only the game will see. As we can kind of switch back over and looking at these rosters here tonight, if we can get those up, it's going to be, I can go over Feint Gaming Reds, as we're going to have Syath, also known as Duck Rider 32, Delpo, Daffodil, Turkey, Fallen Gourd, Carson, and Spamfest coming out here. And a lot of good players. A little bit of a mix-up on Feint Gaming, as Percy did take a break, not currently playing with the team. They did pick up a couple new players, adding in Fallen Gourd, and I believe looks like Carson has been added as well. And Delpo's been doing a pretty good job on the Devilman class. And looking over at the Froyotech side, what is going on in that roster, Fox?
Yeah, we've got the young master himself, Banny. As you mentioned before, Eric, the flex master. I don't know. I'll come back to that. I'll give him a really nice nickname. Habib, Sai, Cookie Jake, Boar, and Blaze. So that's a pretty scary 7. Any way you slice it. Banny, obviously one of the top players in TF2 in general. Boar, one of the top snipers. I mean, we've seen him do amazing work both in the North American and European scene. Lest we forget the big region wars. Blaze, a classic soldier player. I mean, there's just talent from start to finish. There's not a name you can say on there where someone's like, oh yeah, I'm not too sure about that guy. It's pretty star packed.
Yeah, I mean, Froyotech, every single person you look at is star power, and the fact that they picked up Boar in the middle of the season is only just making them that much stronger. The thing too is that Froyotech, I think they had a little bit of a weakness when it came to Prolander, just because they just weren't as familiar with the format. Particular payload, they still struggle at times, but they just have gotten better and better at playing it, better and better at playing the different classes, and really working towards it. So it's honestly, this is going to be, I think it's going to be a game where Froyotech wins. I'm going to be hard-pressed to believe that Feint is going to be able to take this game away from Froyo, but it's a real question of how many rounds can Feint Gaming take, because the other thing is when it comes to RGL, it is going to be, what do you want to call it? When it comes to RGL, it's actually not just winning the game that gets you points inside of the league table. It's also just getting as many rounds as you can. So even if you lose the game, if you can take 2-3 rounds off the enemy team, you're still going to take points in your team's favor, and you're actually going to take away points that team would pick up. And so Feint is currently just sitting barely outside of second place. If they win this game, that'd put them very close to taking over that spot. They need to also get themselves a good match into the 5th week, but a lot to be played for here. And the other big thing is Froyotech can't drop any rounds. Right now, Velocity Esports, which is currently sitting in first place, is neck and neck with Froyotech. So if Froyotech drops 1 or 2 rounds, they're going to be decisively in the 2nd place. And if they drop even more so than that, it's possible that they might not even have a chance at first place. going into, or they're going to have to win next week's game against it, as next week's game it's going to be Velocity Esports and Froyotech Team 1 versus Team 2, which will decide the first place team more than likely, depending on how this match goes tonight. But so far so good. And were you out there with me last season when we casted Feint versus Froyotech on Viaduct, I believe it was.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, because that was the one where it actually went down to the wire. It actually went into overtime because both teams were tied up at 3-3. And one thing that we did see out of that team, I don't know if we'll see it here with Froyotech, is they had Froyotech ended up running some unconventional classes. They had Pyro there for a little bit. They actually did run the detonator of all things. So just overall, some craziness. But I mean, so far, like, what do you think about Ashville when it comes to this map? I believe you casted that also last season.
Yeah, so when I think about Ashville, it's a Koth map, so the first thing a lot of people think is like, oh, this is just DM. You go out there and you get your demo man to put some fat stickies down and you win the game, right? But that really won't get you too far on a higher level, because I always feel like this map, as much as a sniper, I don't like it. From a viewer's perspective, I love it so much because there's so much strategy that goes into it. Personally, I believe more so than a product or a lakeside. There's a lot to this map in terms of where your combo is going to hold. Whereas when you get into a map like product, it's kind of cookie cutter to a degree. You know, the meta is definitely there, and there is one for Asheville, but there's more room to paint outside the lines, and there's a lot of different options that you have for holding, pushing, everything like that. So when I think about it that way, I do feel that Feint Gaming really has a chance. You know, this is, if you're gonna play Froyotech on a Koth map, this is probably the one you want. Yeah, you know, as you mentioned, there was that close game on product, but you have a lot of players that come from Highlander that play this map season in and season out, scrim it multiple times throughout the season. So they might have strategies developed here that I personally, I'm not sure if they play it much in the ESEA circuit, but you know, really have a good chance of bringing that Highlander style out to the game.
Yeah, it's you know, and that's the thing that Feint Gaming has done well on, is that they have that mixture of sixes in Highlander going on in their team, whereas, you know, Froyotech obviously just pretty much traditionally a Highlander team, but that hasn't slowed them down at all, especially when it comes to Koth maps. Really, Asheville, you know, the big thing too with Asheville is just winning the flank battles. That's really going to dictate the game, is who can get onto the flank more, who can be more annoying. You know, that really does a lot for the teams, as they did get readied up in real time. So 90 seconds from now, we will be going live for this first round, so make sure you guys stay tuned with us. Also, just to promote, if you guys are interested in trying out Prolander, type !pugs into chat. It'll get you a link, rgl.gg. We host pugs whenever we can. Currently, we have about 900 members in there, easily fill up 14 players. It's a good time. We do some balancing, have an ELO system inside of it. So even if you're the best player in the world or brand new to competitive, it's a great place to get started and to be able to play the classes that you enjoy on maps that you also enjoy, aka not 5CP. Hashtag shout out. No, but really, it should be a good time. As I'm coming out here, what is your prediction, Vox, as we're about to go live? What is your prediction for scoreline, do you think, at the end of the game?
I'm gonna say conservative 4-1 Froyo, but I do believe Feint could make it 4-2.
4-2. I think it's gonna be I think a 4-1 sounds about right. But honestly, given how good Froyotech has been, I'm just gonna say it's gonna be a 4-0. I think at Froyotech, it's gonna be a very close 4-0, but I think it'll be a 4-0. But I hope I am been proven wrong here, as we are live now. It is Froyotech versus Feint Gaming Red. Froyotech starting on the blue side, Feint Gaming Red starting out on the red side. Early on here, we can see that Feint is going to have their Delman out here, coming out first through Shutter, as Banny's peeking up onto that left-hand side. Everybody from Froyotech coming out through Balcony pretty much, as Eric starting out on Spy, probably catching it out Feint Gaming if they did not realize it. And currently, it looks like Feint is trying to get themselves in position. Delpo goes behind, but gets killed, trying to poke and prod, and that's going to open up for Banny to start peeking here.
Yeah, with Delpo going down and then Spamfest getting picked up as well, Eric was on the bats to take him out. It just looks like his board rings out a headshot onto Daff. it does look like this should be their point. They're pushing from lower right now. They've got Habib on heavy pushing in, and that's going to be the point cap 100% for either medic, though. So in a second, as Spamfest goes down again, we'll see what answer. Oh, as the Uber gets used, I'll let you take that.
Yeah, and Uber does get used. It's got forced off there. Nice job from Blaze, catching out the medic inside of the stairwell. As they're coming out to balcony, they have to be careful. Boar is steering that direction straight down. He wants to find a shot, but Delpo is going to try to push into him. And he's going to run into Banny. Banny winning that 1v1 just barely. As here comes the bomb in onto Cookie Jake. He's going in alone. He does pick up one onto Boar. There's no sniper here. We got Sav, a Duck Rider, trying to do his best to jump over the top. But here comes Blaze in, back onto the mech, pops up Turkey into the air as she falls back down comfortably, able to get herself healed back up as Carson is poking himself onto the point. We got Duck Rider onto the roof, coming down, takes down Banny, as only Sai currently is putting out damage onto the point. Habib on heavy, playing a little bit passive, but here comes out the Uber charge. They're going to try to contest this. Carson's going to have a hard time getting away from this, being so big. He's popping up. Sai actually gets disconnected from his medic, pushed all the way across the map, down to 4 HP, but no one is there to clean him up. He's going to be able to get a med pack and also be behind him. It looks like Duck Rider is going to be able to go back for him and try to clean him up. No, he's going to just play it safe as Sai is going back to spawn. The point goes back in the favor of Fate as the charge comes out here. Eric pushing onto the point, and Uber charge comes out, but a little bit too late to save their heavy.
Yeah, Carson was really the linchpin of that push. I feel like if Carson wasn't able to stay alive in that lower area, this point would still be in Froyo's favor. So really, really good work by him. Otherwise, I think they would have probably lost the bulk of their players because they didn't get out. But now they've grabbed the point. They're building up their Uber. They're going to be a slight disadvantage as Fallen takes down Boar. Sai actually jumps in over the top. He's got to go down. Nice shot by Fallen. And looks like Froyo want to contest this point.
Yeah, but they already lost 3 players early on in this fight, but it doesn't matter as Eric's using that Pyro class to push in, but Spamfest comes back with the Dragon Fury, taking him down to that 1v1, as that will ultimately take the advantage. Duck Rider is actually going in onto the medic, but not able to land too much damage onto Cookie Jake, but here comes Spamfest from above, not dropping down, but just poking Habib from upper, as Bandy's going to come down, take down the heavy of Carson. The Scout gets taken out as Boards back to coming back to life, and Froyotech is finally going to take this point and also have about a 20% advantage, though he won't use it. But Fallen will see if he can find himself a headshot here as he sees Boar on the opposite ramp. And looks like Fink Gaming is going to be rotating over to the balcony side to start off this contesting.
Yeah, they really need to work their way in. I mean, Fallen, he's going to try to get a pick. I don't know really what he's going to find over that area. Just everyone on Froyo stacked over on the ramp side. So they're going to actually have Daft jump in. He's going to go down easily. Delpo comes in as well, but doesn't manage anything. And at this point, yeah, Duck Rider 32 is going to come in, try to get something done. I mean, this is just a sack wave. They're kind of hoping for the best, but expecting the worst, which is just a death and a short respawn.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is that was just a really miscoordinated sack wave. Their demo died. 2 seconds later, their soldier dies. As Eric's pushing in right now, trades his life. He's only down for actually 13 seconds. Not too long of a spawn wave there. But so their demo went in, died, soldier went in and died, then scout went in and died, and then there's like everybody died about 3 seconds apart from each other. They're gonna bring in their scout here of Duck Rider across the point with that Ubercharge, does get the force off. They're gonna just back completely up here. Fallen Gore gets taken down here early, so no sniper here for the counterattack as Carson's coming out from underneath, side down, incredibly low, ultimately gets taken out there with the help of Daffodil, who's pushing across the point, getting out some decent damage as they're coming up onto the ramp side. The soldier goes down, Eric incredibly low as Carson is putting out crazy damage onto the point. Banny is currently underneath of it. Is going to be called out there as Fink Gaming is going to come back with the point, but about a minute behind. It's going to be hard for them to hold on to this, but they did actually take down Cookie Jake there. That was Delpo behind the scenes with the Cow Mangler taking down the enemy medic, so that's going to give him at least an Uber advantage to hold on to this.
Carson does play the big man well. I mean, he just puts up so much damage there during that push. Of course, a lot of it cleaned up by his teammates as well, but Froyo don't want to give me any time to talk. They're already going in. Sai and Banny in on that ramp side. Fallen's going to go down. Sai is going to get taken out, but Banny still wants to get something done. Uber is actually going to end up being used. Turkey Lips didn't like the situation, so they're going to try to get into him on ramp. They managed to pick up Habib, but that's all else they're going to get.
Eric also onto the spy class. He wasn't able to get a stab there. Got caught out. Eric has been traditionally going spy when his team needs to push. Delbo gets taken out on the flank, so he's going to be down for another 12 as Daffodil gets taken out as well. No Demo Man here for the defense, and Cookie Jake's coming up to 90%. They might have wanted to use that Uber charge to maybe try to catch Cookie Jake, but he was so far out of that fight early on that Froyotech's just going to take this basically for free. And they actually have to be careful, Feint does, because they might get caught out here, but Bandy goes down. They actually pick up 2 frags. Here comes out the Uber charge, but I don't know if it'll be soon enough. Blaze is going to go in, but he goes down here very early on, and just a catastrophe for Froyotech, as they're going to probably come down with this point, but lose it instantly, as here comes in Delpo over the top, and it looks like the Pyro from the side, but Froyotech doesn't even take down the point, and now Feint Gaming is in the lead.
I mean, that's just a rare misplay from Froyo. They brought players in one at a time, so despite their Uber, they were really able to just focus down individual players. Here comes the Uber, though, used by Feint Gaming. They're pushing all the way into the lobby. Cookie Jake's going to escape, but it won't mean much. There's still time on this point for Froyo to maybe get on. Blaze is going to have to jump on it ASAP. Spamfest trying to defend. He's only going to defend for so much longer. Oh no, he got on, but Carson is still there. He's going to put some damage across the point. Fallen, Duck Rider 32 behind, trying to get something. And Delpo, they might be able to stave him up just long enough, but I think Froyo comes down with this point, but it's all about what's going to happen next.
23 seconds is going to be left. Froyotech is actually, they're not recapturing the point just yet. I guess they want to put Duck Rider on a longer respawn wave or make him wait a little bit longer. I'm not exactly sure, but finally they do come down with it. But this is going to give Feint Gaming a chance to try to do something. But here comes out the Uber charge. Banny's going to be leading it as he goes into there, going on to Spamfest, who's not able to get the reflect. That's another frag onto them. 3 players currently down for Feint Gaming. 10 seconds left onto the clock. As Turkey Lips got disconnected with her scout. Another frag's coming out onto the point. And Froyotech come back from overtime to be able to take this, and I gotta imagine Feint Gaming is pretty upset with themselves with their Uber charge use in that last round. If they honestly, I think they used it just to defend the point, but there was so much overtime. I think they just got a little bit too aggressive with it. If they were a little bit safer, a little bit more passive, I think that would have been a round, but already into double overtime in this first round as we come into the second mid-fight.
Yeah, Feint need to just build off of this into the next round. It's very easy to lose sight of the fact that you did almost take this round, that last round, so they got to make sure they bring that momentum in. Eric's going to go down as an early pick. Blaze is going to jump through, but not really find anything he likes, as the two teams have drastically different fights on this mid, but it looks like Froyotech chose the better path. They're going to take down 5 on the Feint Gaming side, and at this point, Carson is lower. I don't know how much he's going to get done before going down.
Spamfest is also mixing up, going on to the Spy class. We're seeing a lot of class switching out of both these teams, which is usually a good sign of things working. As Boar, what was that angle? That was an insane angle from the point looking into the main lobby area, able to get a headshot onto Fallen, though he's only going to be down for a few seconds to be able to get back up. Daffodil eating a lot of spam as Sai was standing up on top of the roof with Banny, and he's going to go down as well. Froyotech doing a good job. This is kind of the whole day. Like, they haven't been doing a lot of flank plays, at least with their scout or anything like that. Banny's been playing very heal hungry. And Eric, I guess, is the one who plays most on the flank. He's currently up on the ramp side. He's looking to make a play. He's going to run into Spamfest there, and he actually gets that frag as he was able to catch him out. But it looks like Syath is going to try to take him out onto that flank side. He's barely going to escape with his life, more than likely. Syath really, really wants to get that frag. Duck Rider 32, I should say, as he likes to be aliases that nowadays. It's hard. It's hard. From what I know him as. And he's actually getting the air blast onto the point. Great job there out of Eric. And secures another kill for his team. And, I mean, Feint Gaming, they need to get these suicide waves on here. Finally, Daffodil, Delpo coming in, but wow. Wow.
Yeah, this is just a little uncomfortable right now. I mean, and the Uber ends up getting used onto Bats. I actually didn't see. It must have been Blaze, because he's down. He must have forced that Uber off onto Turkey, and Cookie Jake still has 100%. He has no pressure to use. Carson was lower, and actually Cookie Jake is going to end up using that Uber just for him. Figures it's kind of free at this point, and I mean, it shouldn't amount to much. They should be able to get that Uber as soon as Turkey gets hers, but probably not necessary to use.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised out of that use. That Turkey Lips might have been able to hold on to it just a little bit longer, and then Cookie Jake using his. I'm not really sure if that was the most advised thing in the world, but Fallen Gore does take down Boar here early on in the fight, so that's going to allow him to get some free, comfortable sniping But actually, I'm sorry, he just got taken out instantly by Psy. Feint Gaming is struggling to take any ground this round right now. Froyotech doing a great job playing around heals, as Eric is currently up on the spy class. Oh, he doesn't get the backstep, but ultimately gets Daffodil to kill himself by suiciding directly on top of him, as Blaze doing a huge bomb to try to take down Delpo, who went all the way back to the spawn of Froyotech, but Feint is still struggling onto the point. Carson just can't get around here. Here comes out the Uber charge. It's going to be met with Froyotech in kind. And Duck Rider is going to get caught out here, more than likely. No, actually able to escape with his life. And we'll see how Feint Gaming can re-engage in this dry push.
Yeah, I don't know what's changed for Feint Gaming. It really looks like they're playing a lot more scared this round. Yeah, you know, they haven't gotten picks, and they do get picks that go in, but you kind of got to make your own destiny. I've seen a lot of times just their players sitting on the bats. They do make a push for the point. Carson's going to go down. They might come down with it with a few players to Froyo down. Yeah, they're backing up as well, but I feel like Froyo comfortable with a 3-minute lead on the clock, and they're just going to wait for this Uber push and hope that it's successful. And for Feint Gaming, I mean, you kind of play this like a horde mode. You got to stave off waves of Froyo aggression to come down with this round.
I mean, we've seen Feint Gaming have good chances at defending the point. They've done it before, as Fallen actually takes an early headshot there from board, but fortunately he was buffed up over 150. As Psy actually eats a lot of damage, he's going to get dropped in this Uber. Bandy coming across does at least take down Daffodil, so both Demomen are down for either side, as Zabib's getting just demolished by Duck Rider, who's on to Cookie Jakes, takes him down. Now here comes Bandy, and Blaze as well, but the mini sentry doing so much work right there, and is able to stop that Froyotech push. And that is exactly what Feint Gaming needed. That's going to push them to have just a slight Uber advantage, not too much, as Cookie Jake gets onto the fast respawn. But a very nice job there out of Feint Gaming, spreading out their players, able to dodge the Uber charge and pick off players into the back line.
Yeah, wave 1 complete here, sigafoo. Let's see if they've got it. I mean, you're talking as Fallen actually goes down. 2 or 3 more chances for Froyo here, but as Daffodil and Spamfist all go down, their defenses are crumbling. So Bandy's going to start getting onto the point right now, and here comes the rest of Froyo. They're going to choke him off at ramp in just a second. Psy putting a lot of damage onto Carson. He's going to go down. Duck Rider comes in, and that's going to be 2-0 for Froyo, a much better round out of them as well.
Yeah, it's a solid way for them to come into this first half. Coming in 2-0, but really, honestly, that game this should be 1-1 right now. There is no reason Feint Gaming should have lost that first round.
Yeah, that's really a tough one, and I wonder if that might have brought them a little off kilter, and that's why they're playing a little scared. I just feel they kind of lost that aggression, but was making them successful in that first round. But looks like they are going to be readying up pretty quickly, and they just want to get right back into the game.
Yeah, we see with these shorter halves that teams tend to just want to get back in there, not take too much time to discuss strategy, but I think that ultimately hurts the team that's behind, that they don't take that extra moment, catch your breath, take a second, just figure out what you need to do next rather than just instant ready it up. But I don't know, we'll see what Feint Gaming can do in this next round. They were very close in the first two. What can they do in this third? Currently, Daffodil doing a good job pushing out, but we've seen Froyotech have a lot of success with these passive forwards, as Spamfest on the spy class distracts Froyotech, and that actually allows Feint to push in here as they pick up 2 frags. They're going to pick up a third. Cookie Jake incredibly low, coming underneath of the bats, called out to Spamfest. We'll see if Spamfest is going to do this, as Blaze gets completely denied by Delpo in mid-air, and Feint Gaming comes down with their first mid-fight.
Yeah, that was really, really nice, and Carson was at the center of it all. I feel like he's been the catalyst for a lot of their big plays, him and Duck Rider. I wish that Spamfest had dropped his fight with Board to go chase Cookie Jake down at spawn after Carson had brought him down to about 60 over on the bat side of Froyo, but Cookie Jake is going to survive 100% for either team, and now it's up to Froyo to push in. We've seen some failed pushes and some successful ones, so definitely can't count either team out at the moment, but with Delpo going down early, that could look pretty good for Froyo.
Yeah, and I think Spamfest on Spy really did kind of throw Froyo off here early on, as we're going to see an exchange of Ubers. It's really going to get what they're going to get on the backside. Banny pushes straight through the Uber charge, goes directly onto the sniper, which was not flashed. Now Turkey's going to get caught out here, popped in the air, easily cleaned up, as Daffodil now in a bad spot, not able to put any damage down onto Banny. As Froyotech with a very clinical trade there. Nice job getting it onto your scout, goes straight through onto the enemy team. Don't focus the people who cannot be killed. focus the people who can. It's a very basic strategy, but a lot of teams still don't do it to this day, and Froyotech just very excellent at executing that. As a Spamfest back on Engineer is going to suicide himself for some reason and put himself onto a long respawn wave. I'm not sure what he was going for.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, that was pretty aggressive out of Froyo. They're playing on the other team's ramp, but they can get away with it right now. Eric's going to go down, Banny as well. He manages to trade himself for the Duck Rider, and oh, oh God, that's just unfair. All right, request this POV, please. Yeah, no, that was an amazing shot by Boar. Time and time again, he's proven it. Just how good he is. Spamfest goes down, but Fallen rings back with a headshot of his own to take down Boar. Maybe this is the chance for Feint Gaming. They are down in terms of Uber as Cookie Jake does use his onto Sai on the point. Trying to get away is Daff. He might escape, but Bandy is on the hunt. Before going down, I think with the end of this Uber now, with it being used on Feint Gaming, they should come down on this point, but someone's got to get on cap.
Yeah, they finally will come down with it. Now Spamfest is in a very good spot. This is exactly where you want to be as Engineer, on top of the roof, getting that gun down there. That's going to deny any jumpers. It's kind of, it also can deny people on the bats, as Daffodil pushing straight into the enemy team with the help of Turkey, trying to get some damage down. Actually, Cookie Jake went down to 70 HP there. Carson going incredibly aggressive, going 1v1 against Bandy, but Bandy's going to come out on top with the buff as Blaze gets taken off Fallen. I'm sorry, that is, yeah, Fallen on a 3K right there, as Duck Rider going straight in onto side, but just finds a sticky, easily taking him out as Daffodil. Disaggression out of Feint. This is a complete change from last game, but Turkey Lips just a little bit too aggressive, gets taken out from Boar. And the advantage, anything they had going in their favor, is just evaporated away, as Froyotech is going to have a chance to push out onto this point, but we'll see how Feint can defend this despite not having a medic for the next few seconds.
Yeah, I've been in those situations as a medic before. Your demo says, oh, let's get him, I'm going to crush him, I'm going to get a hit every stick, every pipe, and you're kind of just unsure about the situation, and then the sniper headshots you, and you cry silently and get ready for your next life. But yeah, with that going down, Turkey Lips dying early. Of course, Froyotech's going to take that opportunity to get in, but they didn't finish the cap on the point, so it's going to give a little bit of extra time over to Feint Gaming as they start to build up that Uber. And Cookie Jake's going to be at 100%, so Furry's going to be in full defense mode.
Yeah, and here we go. Looks like Feint Gaming is not going to waste time to try to aggress back onto them, but the Uber charge is going to come out here. They got the force up that they needed, but can they keep Turkey alive, who's currently sitting at 53%? So this would be a nice Uber advantage as Spamfest now onto Pyro off of Engineer, helping out his team with the Dragon's Fury, taking down Blaze early on in this fight, but Boar is completely staring down the sight line as Fallen and him are getting into a nice 1v1 here, and Boar is going to come out on time. Nice snipe there. But Fallen's really been doing a good job with these 1v1s as Delpo is getting himself into position behind the lines of Froyotech, but is going to have to win a 1v1 against Banny, and that's a lot to ask for, especially in an open space like this. He gets taken out, but here we go. Uber charge is coming out on the point. Great distraction that was actually out of Delpo to at least open up this Uber charge, but Cookie Jake never went down despite the massive Uber advantage, and now Feint Gaming is just struggling here to hold on to this. They do come down with the point, and Duck Rider will come out on top. He got the kill onto Banny, which he needed, though Blaze gets a nice frag onto Spamfest as he's underneath of the points.
Yeah, and Turkey, very lucky that she got out. There were a few members of Froyo that had their sights set on taking out the enemy medic, but managed to escape despite losing a few of their players now. So Froyo might sense the situation, could be able to get in, but Carson walks the wrong way through the door, just kind of realizes, oh wait, my team's not here. As the Uber gets used on the Ram side of Feint Gaming, they're pushing forward, Froyotech that is, to take down Turkey. Daffodil's going to go down, so is Carson, so is Fallen. Boar on a 7K that promptly gets ended by Duck Rider over there, but still come down with the point. 13 seconds to counting down 30. Who's going to come down with this round?
Yeah, right now I'm looking at the points, and Spamfest is currently only sitting with 2. I think it might be more worthwhile if your Engineer is not working out for you, if he's not getting enough points doing that, not doing enough through Pyro, go Spy, do something to just open up a pick class, something like that, but it looks like he's going to keep on to the Engineer class here with 13 seconds left in the clock, slowly ticking down the favor, but if this is one inside of Feint Gaming, they will have a chance here. Dry push is coming out as Blaze is doing a big bomb in onto Turkey Lips, pops her up in the air, but she's able to surf it away. Time for her onto the point, and the frags are currently going in the favor of Feint, and they continue to do so as Habib's down to half HP, tosses a sandwich down to Cookie Jake, who doesn't need it yet, but he ultimately goes down. Cookie Jake gets taken out as well. 4 seconds ticking down, and Feint Gaming will come down with the first round for them and this is not looking too bad. Honestly, this could have been 2-1 at the half, but the aggression that they needed in the last round finally comes out, and this is the game we wanted to see.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the prospect of what this means for Feint Gaming now. That's got to instill some confidence in you, and you're going to probably make some more confident plays now. You know, be willing to put yourself in a position to do good things for your team, but more putting his team in a position, but taking out Daffodil right at the start. So now down to Demo Man. We'll see what Feint Gaming can do as Psy just gets aggressive on ramps. Going to take down Carson. Fallen's going to get taken, as well as Spamfest, and now just trying to escape to spawn Turkey Lips. Eric's on the hunt and gets the backstab.
And Eric has not been afraid to go on to Spy. He's been going Spy a bunch this game, and once again picks up that frag. It's the great thing about Eric, as I said, he's the best flex player currently inside of RGL, and the reason is because he goes to every single class, and he plays all of them very comfortably, and just continues to show it there. Great job getting that stab onto Turkey, who probably wasn't even looking for a Spy in that situation, probably wasn't even worried about it. And now he's giving his team intel, sitting on that Cloak and Dagger, telling exactly where the enemy team is trying to push from, as this is where we saw Feint Gaming struggle in the last time they lost the round, as Cookie Jake does get popped up to half HP, but no one's there to continue up that damage. Daffodil with a solo suicide wave, but Fallen gets that headshot on the board. That's going to help them out a little bit here. We'll see if they're going to use not having a sniper up for the next 6 seconds. Coming out of Feint Gaming, looks like they are. They're going to start to push across this point.
Yeah, Blaze is going to go down as well. Boar is on the way, but hopefully it won't mean much. But the Uber does end up getting used by Froyo. They're chasing all the way into lobby. Duck Rider, Delpo, Daffodil, Fallen Lord, and of course Turkey Lips all get taken out. That was a masterful Uber there by Froyo. And Carson is still under the point. I wonder what he can do. He goes for the Banny pick. Maybe could have waited for someone that he could take out, but oh, he is still gonna manage to take Board from down there, so a little bit of a cheeky play.
And the big thing with that last play was that Eric was still in lobby. He gave complete intel to his team about how many players were pushing through Shutter and let them know, like, this is what you should do. Banny goes down here, as we're gonna see Feint Gaming finally starting to push onto us. Eric is directly behind the enemy team. He's just standing there. He's actually not even going for a stab. Since Froyotech lost his fight so early on, he doesn't have a distraction, which is a good play out of him. Delpo gets traded out there on to that flank side. Delpo has been a little, I think, just a little bit too aggressive. He's been almost on the flank exclusively, but I think it's kind of been hurting him at times. And Carson is also using the new buff to heavy use on the Tomislav, so he's actually completely silent as we see the Uber charge coming out here from Froyotech, and only 85% for Turkey, who gets taken out from the backstab. Eric's so patient, and it pays off.
Yeah, Turkey has not been able to find a leg to stand on in this round. I've been taken out early by Eric on that first push. During the last Uber, she gets taken out, and now Eric again with the backstab, and it's just not going to be good if your medic can't build up an Uber charge, obviously. So I don't know. It's kind of back to the drawing board for Feint here. They've only managed to take 30 seconds off of the clock. You know, you said Delpo has been exclusively playing on the flank, and he hasn't even been going for sack waves along with his demo. I've seen them kind of stagger their pushes, which isn't too good. Blaze over the top, as well as Banny, and Eric's in a position as well. Daft's going to go down, and Carson and Turkey are in the lower side. With Duck Rider over here, they're going to start edging the point. I don't know what it's going to amount to, as Cookie Jake is coming up on 100% Uber right now, and actually Duck Rider manages to take out Psy before it starts, but Turkey is gonna die yet again in that Uber.
Blaze doing a good job. Blaze doesn't play on the flanks, but he'll go for flank plays by just jumping himself there. As Duck Rider, nice headshot out of board, close range, takes him down. But the point will go back in the favor of Feint, but they're going to be down by about 2 minutes. And it just seems that, like, honestly, the big difference maker here is the Spy. The Spy has just been doing absolute work this game. But Froyotech, I think that last round, that was actually kind of the first fight where they didn't win because of Eric. It was really just the team coming together, doing it for them, as Banny eating a lot of damage there. The other thing that Froyotech's doing a really good job is committing themselves but not dying. They'll eat a lot of damage. I bet you if you look at the damage taken, it's very close for both teams, as Froyotech getting very aggressive right here. And they're going to just probably take the point for free, maybe, as Delpo going down incredibly low. Duck Rider gets taken out as well. They will come down with it. And Turkey is only at about 60% even Ubers for both teams. It actually eats a lot of damage. Turkey going down incredibly low, but no one's there to finish it up.
Yeah, now the final seconds ticking off the clock. Carson was going through the shutter, but Eric comes through with the backstab. They're getting time on point as Cookie Jake goes down. Fallen gets the headshot, which is perfect. Cookie Jake was at 92% when that headshot came out. So, I mean, any longer would have just cleaned up the rest of the players on the point. So Fallen stepping up big for his team there. Probably didn't even realize how close he was to Uber and that. So really saves his team, but again, they still have to hold this for a good minute and a half now. We'll see if they're up to the task.
Yeah, the big thing here is Delpo has to play safe. He's been getting a little bit too aggressive when they control the point and making himself die too early on. Eric still on the spy class. He's been having success with it all of this round as Delpo is almost winning the one. He does win the 1v1 against Banny using that black box. He's going to actually get killed there trying to run away as here comes in the sack wave from Sai as well as Blaze, and Sai alone is able to secure the force out of the enemy team. And Cookie Jake, now Duck Rider onto Cookie Jake in the backfield, gets the kill, and onto Boar as well, picks up 2. He's going to continue on for Boar, onto Habib, and is going to be able to get out. No, Banny takes him down, but having the medic on the point is going to help him out. Eric is currently straight behind Falling Gord. I don't think anybody spotted that he bumped him, and right behind Turkey barely just accidentally dodges. There, Eric almost got the backstab. 40 seconds left in the clock, and Cookie Jake is just getting back up and about 100% in the favor of Faint Gaming. But last time they had this kind of advantage, they didn't use it too well with this kind of time, and a lot of aggression coming out of Froyotech for free.
Yeah, they used the Uber, but it took a long time to get into a position to actually do some work. Duck Rider is going to be the only one that's going to commit to this fight. Probably going to go down, get chased down after it. I don't know if it was necessary to use the Uber in that situation. Yeah, they started to get some time on the point, but I think they could have fought back for a little bit before deciding to use that Uber. So now Froyo, I mean, the onus is really on them to start getting onto the point. They start the ×2 going. There is a level 2 and Shutter, and they come through with a round.
Froyotech, that was huge coming out of Spamfest, coming out with the surprise level 3 gun. Eric was down on the spy class. He got taken out multiple times, so he wasn't able to call the location of it. And then Spamfest with the clutch for his team did a great job. And then Froyotech, everybody was too scared. It wasn't like the first overtime round where they had so much time. And there you go, Faint Gaming with a strike back 2 straight as we go into the overtime round.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the logs really quick. So the one thing that jumps out at me, Fallen in the first 2 rounds only managed 5 frags, and Boar was somewhere, I think, around 16, 17. This round, Boar still around the same 17, but Fallen steps up with 13 frags. So a really big improvement by him there to put his team. Banny and Duck Rider, the two juggernauts for their respective teams, putting in the most work on Scout, which you kind of expect with a map like Ashville.
Yeah, this is, I mean, really, really impressive from both teams doing work. As you said, scouts and snipers topping the board. The other big difference is Sai is currently being outdone by Daffodil, as Sai currently sitting only at 6 frags, as Daffodil has 12, so about 2 times better. Though they're not that far apart from damage, Daffodil only has that much more. But as we're getting into this next round, the damage is actually in favor of, I'm trying to look at this right now. Yeah, definitely onto the Froyotech actually had more damage by about 4,000 in that second round despite them losing. So Faint Gaming just playing the game a little bit better despite maybe losing a little bit of the DM battle. And here we go, Delpo getting taken out here early on. Banny goes down, actually trades his life to secure that frag. We'll see who is going to be able to do this. Eric onto the engineer class off the spy. And he goes down, nice headshot there by Fallen, and Faint Gaming looks like they're going to take their second mid-fight.
Yeah, and I think at the beginning, Delpo trading his life for Banny. I think Faint's going to take that trade any day of the week, honestly. There's still a mini-sentry sitting on the opposite house, and I think Carson's going to realize that now and start to back up as Banny wants to chase in, see if he can get the damage. He does manage to take down Carson there, but, you know, point does get capped up by Faint Gaming. 100% for Cookie Jake as Borg goes down. Turkey's going to be coming up on 100. Just a second, Fallen gets another headshot to take down Sai. So that's really going to slow things down now for Froyotech, and I think they're going to be in a position where they want to go for the sack. Here is Blaze forcing off the Uber. Cookie Jake's going to use his right after, and it's just 2 scouts and... oh no, as... sorry, Duck Rider jumps away.
Yeah, Duck Rider did a nice job there as he fell back to kill Blaze, who was going onto the sniper. Now Boar's going to get jumped into by Delpo, who's going to get his life traded away there. Eric with a nice job on the shotgun as Carson gets taken out as well. Froyotech should be able to capture this point, but they're losing precious seconds as Spamfist has a level 2 sentry gun once again, and Froyotech have not been able to capture this despite winning that fight due to that level 2 sentry gun. And currently it looks like Engineer is reigning supreme. Can't ban the level 2 gun, despite all the things they did ban. And here we go, Banny's onto the point. He's going to get pushed off once again. And they're struggling to come up with an answer to this, and Eric's not on Spy either to be able to sap it or anything like that, but there's your answer. Borg gets a headshot onto Spamfest, and the gun gets taken out as well.
Yeah, this is a good job by Faint Gaming. They hold it for a while. I think Turkey Lips should have probably backed out. Yeah, they have 100% right now. Actually, okay, Froyo, I thought Froyo was going to go in and try to collapse in on the medic, but they don't choose to do so. So Turkey going to get out of that potentially sticky situation. They have 100%. They're going to get their players up right now, and they're going to go for the point cap. Here the Uber's being used. Right now, all focus on Cookie Jake as Daff gets those frags down.
Yeah, Cookie Jake had to be at like 99%. He was incredibly close as Faint Gaming. I mean, that was such a beautiful coordination. They had people pushing at the lower side of the ramp. They had the Demo Man jumping up, putting damage as Froyotech was trying to push away there. In Faint Gaming, this is looking good for them to take a 3rd round in a row as Fallen has been stepping up. Everybody's doing a great job, and Delpo also using a good job of the unlocks, currently running when he's playing on the flank side. I think that's been helping him a lot, sustain the fight. To help him out there, as we can see him dropping underneath, and here we go. Both teams playing on their respective ramps. Froyotech has generally done good when they've played this way. And a little engineer fight 1v1 going on the backside. V gets taken out, and this is looking good right now for Froyotech as they picked up 4 frags and a bunch more. Blaze with a big bomb and taking down Turkey as well as Daffodil.
Yeah, very good stuff for Froyo, and I mean, it seems like with a team of their caliber, these small successes, they seem to come naturally, but Faint's really been making them work for each of these point captures. So for Froyo to come through cleanly and get those 5 frags to secure the point is actually a little bit different than what we've been seeing for most of the game. But Boar's going to take down Fallen. Bandy's going to jump in on Bats because of it. Doesn't want to get taken out, and actually, as Syath or Duck Rider tries to get in, and meets Eric down below, so he is going to trade his life. But now coming in, Daffodil wants to get aggressive, but Boar on a 4K. They've got to figure out a way to stop him right now. Delpo gets a few rockets, but doesn't manage to do anything off of that bomb.
I mean, they have to be careful. Faint struggles when they can't get their coordinated pushes in, and they just had 3 players die one by one. Carson is kind of caught out here. It's going to get taken down. I think he's trying to rely on the arrows from Turkey, but she actually stopped arrowing him partway through. And Gort Fallen's going to get taken out. There's no sniper here for a little while. Blaze trades his life to be able to do that, but might be worthwhile enough to just wait that little much longer for a sniper to come out. And here comes out the Uber charge from Faint, and they're going to jump in, get the force off onto Cookie Jake. As Psy's going to get caught out here. Daffodil, I don't think he meant to do that, but he accidentally pushed Psy into the main team as Eric's completely behind enemy lanes, goes down. And so no Demo Man here for the defense, and actually Duck Rider would have had a chance at Boar there if he wanted to take it, and Boar, beautiful headshot onto him. Delpo is going to go down as well. Boar, wow, what a 3K he just put up there.
Oh my god, it's just like, it's a complete momentum stopper. It really, Paint had a good chance to come down at that point. They don't have too much time left to take off, just 37 seconds. And Boar, he's still going. He pushes aggressively in Shutter, gonna take down Daffodil. He's gonna grab Carson too, because why don't you just pad those stats a little bit more, bud? But like, it's just, what can you do when he's on, you know? They've really got to figure it out. Spamfest has been better on Engineer this round, but maybe it's time to switch it up, see if you can get something done on Spy, despite not being successful for most of the game.
Froyo, Blaze, oh my god, what a beautiful bomb, and 2 rockets down underneath his feet. We're gonna have Duck Rider coming in here, going straight for Boar, but it's not going to be for much. The mini sentry is going to do it just enough work, and Faint Gaming, for as strong as they looked that round, crumbled to bits at the end. On the back of Boar, Froyotech righted in as they're going to take the lead 3-2, and this is match point in the favor of Froyotech coming into our 6th round.
Yeah, this is I mean, this is everything for Feint. They definitely have the stuff to bring this to a 4-3 and or sorry, at least a 3-3. So it's all gonna have to do with this mid, and there you go. Borg getting taken out by Fallen. Very good job by him. Blaze and Delpo are gonna trade their lives as Carson goes down. Eric, this is just back and forth, but with Duckrider and Spamfest going down, I think this has to favor Froyo at this point. Banny's gonna start getting behind, take down Fallen, and Turkey. Oh, it's time for the Great Escape. There's a mini sentry there to help aid her as the rest of her team comes through this teleporter. But Habib is pushed up alone in lobby and manages to get Spamfest, who came through the telly.
Yeah, we can see Eric back onto Engineer class. Blaze is going to be jumping in here. Goes on to Daffodil, trying to find some damage onto Turkey Lips. But actually, he's not even going to die there. Falls back down, gets reconnected back up with Cookie Jake. And Daffodil goes down as Uber charges are going to get traded out here. Currently, the frags in the favor of Feint Gaming as Blaze is completely behind them still. He's down incredibly low. Ultimate gets traded out there. But we'll see how Feint wants to deal with this as Delpo is behind enemy lines, takes down the exit, whatever that's worth. And Carson's starting to aggress back up there. Duck Rider, wow, nice body shot there by Boar, taking him out. And Feint is just, this is a little bit better because they struggle when they try to push out from balcony side. That seems where they do the worst. And that's exactly where they're going to switch out to is Banny gets a nice 1v1 there against Spamfest, taking him down. And is actually going behind them. He's going to go for a play. He's going to go straight into the enemy team. Takes down Fallen, and he's just going to get out. Insane plays coming out of Banny as Boar picks up a body shot.
Yeah, Scythe really wanted to push for that frag. Delpo's going to jump in same time. Oh, very good job. Daff and Delpo finally coordinate a bomb together. And look at the outcome. They managed to take down the enemy medic. So they figured it out, and that's going to be the best outcome. They're going to wait for the respawns in just a bit, and then they can push with a full 100% Uber advantage. On Turkey, actually, they just walk out without their demo, and it's just going to be a scout Uber. Duck Rider is going to manage to take one out, and then what happens with the rest of it? Okay, well, I free Uber, right? Free Uber. Yeah. They got away with it.
Yeah, pretty much. They're going to be back up to 100% about the same time as Cookie Jake. Daffodil eating a lot of damage there.
They didn't cap.
They didn't cap. They do need to come down with this still. This is the same thing that happened with Froyotech. I don't think they realized it. Daffodil finally is going to step onto it, but I don't know if that's an accident, and that's going to allow Froyotech to recontest this. Sath is pushing onto them, but the point is still not captured. Boar is barely keeping himself alive. Finally goes down, but Feint Gaming didn't capture the point. A huge misstep in what this overtime round is.
Oh my god, I really have no words, and they've got to be kicking themselves for it. Froyotech just got a free pass back into this round, as they do manage to come down with it now, of course, giving 25, probably 30 free seconds over the Fro side. Uber does get used. Turkey Lips only at about 75%, so not going to have one to use just yet. Sai is going to put some damage, and then goes Bandy with the tail end of that Uber, going to manage to take her out. With all these players down, I can't imagine Froyo will be denied on this point for very long.
Though they only do have 4 players alive, Delpo is actually directly above them. Carson is going to go down. Habib getting a nice arrow there to be able to keep him alive as his Duck Rider trying to make a play on the backside, but gets taken out from Eric's mini sentry. Again, just doing a lot of class switch-ups for him. And we can see Cookie Jake now has the advantage as Turkey did get taken down there. Froyotech, I don't think they're going to make the same mistake as Feint, as they're trying to put capture time onto this. They backed off once again. They finally will come down with this, as you can hear Spamfest with the Eureka effect just backing up, trying to get his gun up into a good spot here. And we can see what Feint Gaming wants to do into this next push. Daffodil's doing a decent amount of damage, spamming over top of the roof. Carson pushing up onto the lower side, as Delpo is actually doing in a 1v1 against Habib. Delpo's been doing a good job on that flank, more so now. But Habib and actually Froyotech's rotating over to try to kill him. We'll see if that's going to open up for Feint Gaming to push across now that they're all chasing Delpo.
Yeah, here's going to be the Uber being used by Froyotech right now. Bandy's just charging forward. Daffodil, Delpo, Spamfest all going down. Uber being used back by Turkey and Duck Rider. They're going to take down Cookie Jake, which is a good pick for him there. But Carson, who's capping the point, going to be left alone as Borg gets the headshot. Bandy's going to win the 1v1 against Duck Rider, then take down Turkey Lips for good measure. Delpo jumping in, but all these are just solid 5v1s in the favor of Froyo. So they're going to come down with this point and come down with a very close game.
Yeah, I mean, Feint Gaming's got to be kicking themselves because that was very winnable for them, as it's going to be Froyotech taking it 4-2. So beat both of our predictions, and Feint Gaming with an impressive run as well. I mean, Froyotech obviously one of the best teams, if not the best team, inside of RGL right now, and Feint Gaming really showing that they are vulnerable. They can be beat. And honestly, if Feint Gaming just fix a couple of their mistakes, if they fix that first round, if they fix not capturing that point, if they were able to hold properly, in this overtime round in the first time, like they had a lot of opportunities to be able to turn this game around, as we can open up the logs and see what those say about this overtime situation.
And it's really just the Banny show again, coming in with that top frag, and Boar having his best half yet, putting up 20 frags, and falling down the scoreboard as well. The one round they got that 2-0, he really stepped up his game. I don't think it's really like on him. Obviously, I mean, it's always nice when your sniper can start getting picks, but it's kind of, give and take. His team's got to put him in a position where he has a few seconds to actually scope in and catch his breath. And I mean, for Feint, of course, Duck Rider coming in towards the top, but didn't have as strong a half as he did before. And I think just evidenced by how strong Froyotech came in on this one. They really wanted to close it out after being shut out in that those middle set of rounds.
Yeah, I mean, Banny, that was basically it, is that when Feint was able to control the game, they did a decent job at it. And that's what they did so well in that second half, where they were able to take 2 rounds straight, is that they just did a really good job when they controlled the point. They made smart decisions, didn't overextend, were able to play around each other. When they pushed back onto the point, they were aggressive. They tended not to play from balcony always, and they were able to usually get those open picks. As you said, Fallen was doing a good job as well with those, but I think that they just kind of Froyotech kind of adapted to the Feint's playstyle a little bit, and then just some big plays coming out of Froyotech. They were just playing smart. They were doing good things. Overall, here, just looking at the stats, he said Boar, and the other thing too is just Boar just went ham. Like Boar was like average, he was a good sniper, but nothing like crazy. But I mean, 516 DPM is just absolutely insane. And Banny, 537 playing around those heals, just so smart. I mean, those are always the hardest scouts to deal with, are the ones who are not, like, the bad scouts are the ones who are like have really good DM, but they don't know when to back up. Banny has the good DM, and he understands, I'm going to take this fight and I'm going to get out alive, and he's going to keep his life. And so, despite being one of the most forward players in the game, he also has one of the least amount of deaths. He only has 7 deaths. That's insane for a scout. To have a 3-to-1 ratio when you're a scout in this format where you have so many different classes that can counter you. Just overall, fantastic job out of him.
Yeah, I mean, enough can't be said. I mean, and all of that as well. He's probably the one that's leading the team and main calling as well as he's done in the past. So, I mean, you put those two things together. It's not an easy thing to do, to both strat call and have the wherewithal to win. Most of those 1v1s that you're going into, and leading Uber charges and hitting all those shots. It's very impressive to be able to do those things simultaneously.
The other big thing is Banny also took down Fallen Gord, the sniper, for Feint Gaming 5 times that round, the most of any player. So, I mean, Duck Rider and Daffodil killed Boar 4 times combined. Banny alone took down Fallen 5 different times. And I mean, and some of that is just going to be inherent because Froyotech had the advantage at different times, but that just shows you, like, they were looking for those situations to try to kill Fallen, like, because the more they kill Fallen, the more comfortable they can get, Boar and Fallen, I'm saying the other big thing is, Fallen, actually, so Fallen killed Boar twice, Boar killed Fallen 3 times. So they were neck and neck in terms of sniper v sniper. It was really the teammates of Froyotech stepping up, focusing down the sniper of Fallen, and that allowed Boar then to have that much better of a game. When you can get comfortable, when you don't have to worry about, because Fallen was really showing himself in those snipers 1v1s. He was doing a really good job, and when he was winning those and he wasn't being killed, he was doing a good job at being able to keep up with Boar, not out-snipe him, but at least keep up with him. And ultimately, you can see what happened there is in the overtime round. So, fantastic game coming out of Froyotech. Really good job overall, and they're going to secure themselves 2 points. But now they're going to be officially in second place behind VoxDei Esports, and everything's going to be on the line coming into next week. about who's going to take first place, because first place is a guaranteed spot into the grand final. So it's very possible, depending on the outcome of the match next week on PL Borneo, that Froyotech might not finish in first place, and we might see them having to duke it out to try to win themselves into that next spot. And given how Feint played here, Feint looked like a very strong third-place team, and I could very well see them potentially winning a best-of-3 against Froyotech if they can play as well as they did in that second round. It wasn't like they had a spark of goodness. It was a consistent play. It just was that it was a very strong spot where they didn't make a lot of mistakes, and that's what you need to do against that. So any other storylines you kind of see here, else we can kind of wrap it up?
No, I think it's all really been said. Feint do a really good job, and they really put their all out there. And come the next time these two teams meet, it really has a chance to be different.
Yeah, that was a good time. All right, well, thank you so much, Vox, for joining me out here. And of course, guys, put some love in chat for Nisel. Always doing a wonderful job behind the scenes. If you guys want to watch these VODs, they'll be up on youtube.com in XTV. As well as if you guys are interested in playing Prolander pugs, we have public pugs we host whenever we can, rgl.gg/pugs, or just put !pugs into the not to the Discord channel, into the Twitch chat. So thank you everybody for joining me out here tonight. I'm Siga with VoxDei and Nisel with my help out here today, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night.